We are rocking a minimalist setup today because I'm filming for this nonprofit that we've been working on a project for. I don't want to leave anything in the trunk, and I was debating if I bring more gear, but I don't want to carry around a backpack. So there we go. This is our creative limit. Wow. Just me and you, buddy. Look at all those vibrations that this shock mount just eats up while driving. Super minimal setup. That's it. That's everything. Plus some of in here. Audio gear. So I don't have to feel bad for leaving my car alone with, I just left a lunch bag in there, but I think that's pretty obvious. There's a water bottle sticking out of it. All right, so the kids are gonna be picked up here. There's a group of them that's gonna come out, and they're gonna get picked up, walk down the street here, walk to their vehicle, and they'll take them to this after school program. Across the street here is kind of the nicest look I can get, kind of this angle. And I want the kids to walk out right here, and then I may have them just reset, and then I'll walk again from behind them. But I feel like this is the safest angle, and it just shows them coming out of the school. That's all we need. I don't need to go on the campus, Let's keep it simple. And we good. Got all the shots we needed. Literally, right as the crew was about to walk outside, like the principal of the school walked across the street, and he's like, "Can I help you with something?" And for a split second, I was thinking, I'm like, dude, I'm on public property. You can't really tell him anything. But I was like, whatever. I'll just try to be accommodating. So I told him the nonprofit I was shooting for, and he's like, "Well, they didn't talk to me. They didn't get permission to shoot here today." Still, while I'm standing on public property. So I'm like, then the kids start walking out. I'm like, "Hey man, this is just the shot I need. I just need them walking out, this group." And he's like, "Okay, well, just don't get any other of the kids in the shot." So I'm like, "Okay." And boom, we just adapted. So we got the kids walking along the street. We walked with them. The sun's low enough, it's nice and low. It's really nice. So actually, as they were walking by trees, the sun was just poking out. And actually, I think that kind of became the theme of the shots as they're coming out. It's just the sun kind of flaring behind them. And even when they're driving off, we got a nice shot of the sun flaring behind them. So I'm actually really happy with that. It's cool. Now we drive to our next location. Okay, we're here, and they're waiting in a car right next to us, so we gotta just grab and go. All right, now we're moving locations. It's definitely nice being this agile, because we gotta move quick. This whole weekend, so 2 days ago and 3 days ago, I was filming all day cinema verite style, and just so much cinema verite. Then yesterday I didn't have any shoots, and then today I'm shooting, and I'm still kind of in that cinema verite mind space. I really am finding myself cutting a lot less quickly. So instead of doing a 20-second take, I'm doing 3-minute takes. And I'm the one who's editing it, so honestly, I don't mind the extra footage. But I'm like, why do I keep cutting? So this is a new mindset. Let's try this out, see how it goes in the edit, because I'm editing it. But I'm definitely finding myself cutting way less, especially because things are happening so fast, and I've got such a short window to get the shots I need.
From anything except for me.
Wow.
So it is very possible to be an endurance athlete, a marathoner, and be vegetarian.
All right, we are out, and I'm realizing on my way out that there's actually one more day of filming that we're gonna need to do. That's a really important day. It's coming up. It's a big Thanksgiving celebration, and it's gonna show how large of a community that this nonprofit impacts. So there's going to be several hundred people there, and they're all the families and people that are impacted by this nonprofit. So that's going to be important to show. So we got another day of filming, and we are out of here. So, small camera package today. FX30 gimbal setup, and I got this gig through Production Hub. These fellas flew into town, or at least that producer did, for this shoot, this conference style shoot. And between the FX9 and FX30, they wanted the FX30. These guys found my profile on Production Hub. They liked what they saw, and so they reached out by just giving me a text a few weeks ago, and they're like, yeah, we want to do a shoot with you. Bigger than I thought from the cameras there.
Yeah, because this raw, they only showed the other.
Equivalent unit of heat energy is generated. Traditionally, this surplus heat is ejected into the atmosphere through
Big energy, here we come. And big smile and go.
The California Energy Commission estimates demand for power.
That's rebooting. See, I'm making it reboot. You know that works.
Somebody's been unzipping my gear when I was gone. Who could it possibly be? Was it you? Was it you? You been messing with my gear.
Yes, I'm witness. She was.
Maybe you can help me unpack.
Good, thank you.
So, reviewing the footage from this interview we shot, the screen's not, my camera's not doing it total justice, but I was able to correct, there was a bit of a green magenta shift in the room. Let me turn that off, see if you can notice. You can kind of see it here. Anyways, whatever. I'm not a big fan of how this interview looks, and after surfing through it and noting everything that our talent said, I realized we don't really have a strong story as I thought. Also interviewed her on the, we got some more input on the fly during this other, other style interview while she's doing something else. Again, it's a little bit messy. So these are the two interviews I've got. I've got this first interview and I've got this interview, but just looking through them all, it's just too messy. The message is not clear, and I'm sure we could craft something out of it, but it's not going to be that good. It's just way too misorganized. So I was trying to figure out how to piece these together and make a story, and I've got plenty of B-roll, and I'm about to go get some more B-roll, but I'm realizing we need to pause for a second, and we actually need to create a structure for what the story is we're trying to tell. And we need to do a proper interview, because this interview was at the end of a long day and she needed to go somewhere else. So, and we're not totally sure what the story is. So it's a little bit scattered. This interview is right before an event was about to happen that she had planned. Again, mind is going to be in other places. Now, we can piece this together into something, but it's not going to be as good as if we properly set up a nice interview that looks good, sounds great, and we know the story going into it. And that's the problem I'm running into. So we're about to go do some more filming for this nonprofit, and I was thinking of doing some interviews, but now I'm thinking, no, I'm not going to do any more interviews until we structure out what the story is, because there's no point in it. It's just way too messy, and it's not just gonna magically turn into a good story. And this nonprofit already has a video on their website that works, and it tells a better story than this video is going to currently tell. So if we want to beat that and we want to make it an improvement, because that old video is a little old, the video they have is a little old, we're gonna need to tell a proper story, and we can't just haphazardly do it. So we're gonna go grab some B-roll for them. It'll be fun. And then I'm gonna talk with the president of this nonprofit, and we're gonna plan a time to do proper interviews. And I'm gonna help them come up with a flow for the story of this video. And we're gonna stop guessing. We're gonna do this intentionally. This is the room we're working with. Big Thanksgiving celebration happens here once a year. Took the shoulder pad off today because I think we're gonna be just carrying this a lot. So when we first pulled up here, things were like literally about to start. They were about to get in the group and pray. All the volunteers, like right as I pulled up. So I immediately had to pull my camera out and just start recording. Grab a few audio devices, just throw them in my bag. But now I've gotten some good footage of them setting up. And so now I'm gonna take a chance to set up. Don't wanna just leave my stuff in the car. You never know. There's nice trees here, but you never know. So yeah, let's head inside. Again, we're dealing with some pretty challenging lighting. We're gonna make it work, but it's pretty tricky. Very fluorescent lighting.
Yeah, that's the hardest part of my job. Like,
There's no way we're gonna do an interview in this environment. That's okay. I decided to take my shoulder pad off my camera to make the camera lighter. I miss it already. I gotta put that bad boy back on. If anything I learned from that recent Cinema Verite shoot, it's that the shoulder pad makes a huge difference. A very, very big difference. So it does make your camera heavier and your arms more tired, but your shoulder feels a lot better. So anyways, my shoulder hurts, so I gotta put that pad back on there. We've got all the B-roll we need for this nonprofit. Now it's time to get our main interview. And so I talked with the head of the nonprofit. I told her what I'm thinking, that we write up an outline. I write up an outline, send it to her. She makes any tweaks that she wants, and then we go ahead and do an interview. I want 1.5 to 2 hours to set up, and then we'll just shoot a real nice interview. And she said, okay, let's do it. So that's the next step. And I think once we have that, that should be the final piece. So it's a few days later, and we've written up an outline for this nonprofit. I wrote up an example of how I'd like the video to go. I want there to be a problem. They're struggling immigrant families in this one city. And then I want the story to be how Angie discovered the problem and why it matters to her. And then I want the solution to be the nonprofit, which is run by donors and volunteers. Donors, staff, and volunteers. But we want to make the donors and volunteers the hero, because they really are. So we've got a problem, we've got a story, and we've got a solution. I like a video like that way more. So I wrote up an example of how it would go. I made up some facts just to show how the video would flow. And so I'm going to send this off to the head of this organization. And then I have questions that would pull out these answers that I want, so we can get the exact answer. So I want her to read through this, see the questions that I would ask, and see what kind of answers, see what kind of answers that I would be going for. And then a video like this, I can totally work with. I think that'll be a good, strong story. I know I'll need a little bit more footage. I'll need some hero footage of her walking around town. Probably in slow-mo would be good. I think there's a park where some iconic things happened in the story, so having her sit on the park bench and stuff would be cool. And then get some footage of this city that we're telling the story about. That'd be pretty easy to do. And just one really nice interview, and we can make it work. So the first thing is we need to get one really nice interview where I have her focused and I have her for a few hours, and then get some shots of her around town. Then I can go get the rest of the around town footage that I need. So I'm gonna send this off to her. Time is kind of limited though, because at the end of this week, I'm going out of town for a week, and then when I come back, I'm booked for a week. So we gotta step on it. And I called this setup the everything. And that's everything. For our final shoot day, allegedly, it should be, we're gonna be doing our major interview of our hero here. We have the building pretty much to ourselves, I believe. So we're gonna really take our time and make a beautiful interview. Oof. There's one spot we could film in. I like the books behind it. Don't like those though. Definitely kill them. And this is the next spot we could film in. That's actually a little more neutral. Probably would kill this if I could. This room is kind of interesting because we could get a lot more depth to it. So those are my two options. I'm gonna play around and see which one would be better. This is one possible angle, and I don't really like that. Like, that's just too plain of a background. I mean, obviously you could do something with that plant, but, and that would be too churchy because it's not exactly a church. It is a Christian program, but it's not exactly a church. So, man, I think I'm leaning more towards the book room. You know what, actually? This room also is not bad with the lights off. If we fully controlled the lighting, oh, this could actually be kind of cute too. Like right there with some depth, that's not bad. Okay, all right, I don't know. I really think this is my favorite look. These books. I need to find a way to make it interesting. I don't know if I really want that window in the shot. I'm gonna have to rearrange these tables, but getting that bookshelf in the background, I think that'll be the perfect background. Like, I gotta find the right angle and rearrange the room for it, but I think that tells the story the best. Using our DJI wireless transmission system, checking out the framing, I'm thinking our wide shot will look like this, just have the books behind it. So it's kind of a neutral scene. If they ever move locations, they can use this. I think I'm gonna go something like this. So we got that splashing up there, giving a nice, more neutral light for us to work with. And then for our key light, we're gonna be using the June G300 because it's strong enough to hold that. I've got the Amaran 200X, but it can't hold the Light Dome 3. This can. It's nice and sturdy. June did a really nice job making this. This is easily one of my favorite lights. And then we'll use the lighting from the window right there as our fill light. And we'll throw a hair light on there too. And we are ready to rock. We've got our key light coming from right here, G300. Hardly any power at all, 10%. This is another June light, C100, really nice tube light from the June. They sent me for free, so thank you, June. They also sent me that one for free, so thank you, June. Yeah, so we've got that. That had like 2%. It's 100 watts, freaking bright light. That just giving us some nice ambient light, kind of lighting up the room. And then this window is our fill. Fun fact, I actually learned that the recent Avatar movie was shot on these Fujinon lenses. Mainly these two, and then the Fujinon Cabrillo. So that's kind of cool. All right, let's go get our talent, and let's do this thing.
This is just...
Can you introduce North Fair Oaks? Where is it? What is it? And how many people live there? I've never heard of it before. North Fair Oaks? Is that a separate city? Wait, it's in Redwood. I've never heard of this before. Can you say North Fair Oaks is, and tell me a little bit about it.
You bet. North Fair Oaks is an unincorporated area in the county of San Mateo. It's never been annexed, so it's not its own city.
And we are wrapped. I sat here the whole interview, so like right next to the lens, and I was able to reference the monitor here and reference the second monitor over here through the handle. And that way she was nice and at eye level. And focus was on point. Unfortunately, it's raining outside, so we're not gonna be able to get our hero shots that we want. I'm gonna see how much I can do without those hero shots. Those should be pretty easy to get if we need in the future, but I would really like a sunny day, not gloomy like that. So the main thing is we have the story now, which I'm very excited about. We have like an hour and a half of the story, but it's all following the guide that I had written up, so I like it. All right, let's tear down. There we have it. All back to normal. Who'd have thought this room with all these colors could give us such a nice look? I'm happy with this. And that's the end of all the shooting for this nonprofit. I may go get a few more little clips, hero clips down the line in the future, in a few weeks, possibly. But I'm gonna see what I can do without them. So the next big thing is to jump into the editing room, put the story together, and see if we have enough footage to make it happen. December is coming up, and for a nonprofit, December is huge. It's a big donation time of the year. So I'm gonna try to get this video done at a reasonable time within December. Maybe I'm gonna aim for early December. It might be mid-December. Anyways, so yeah, thanks for joining and hanging out today. I appreciate you. And if you'd like to connect with me, send me a message on Instagram. Always love connecting with new people, grabbing coffee with people who work in the industry and live nearby me, San Francisco Bay Area. And if you'd like to work together, here's my website. You can take a look at some of the final products, see what my work looks like, and maybe we could do a project together. I'd love that. Channel's all about connecting, so let's use it to connect with each other. And if there's any people that you'd like to meet or whatever, I'm also pretty good at setting up new friendships. So if you're looking for, I don't know, something specific like a gaffer, a sound mixer or whatever, I'm always happy to help with that too. Anyways, hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you later. Bye.